right, guys, Amy here from HeyAuto. We are hitting the streets of Calgary. We're gonna go talk to Calgarians, talk to them about their car buying experience, and just see how they feel and offer them a better solution. Let's go. So I'm from HeyAuto. We're a local Calgary tech startup. So can you point out an experience that you've had that's been kind of negative with car buying?
Yeah, totally. Like when I was buying, I went to like 4 or 5 different dealerships.
Yeah, totally.
And you have to like put in the effort and the legwork.
Right.
And like, you know, kind of what you should be paying, but it requires that effort. Shouldn't this be easier?
For me?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, totally.
That kind
of thing. So what do you primarily use to find out where your next car is going to come from?
Figure out what I want and then go to the dealership.
So have you ever had a negative experience at a dealership?
That's a good question. Well, I mean, they're all high pressure sales,
Right.
and here's the extra bonus thing that you can go with it, and stuff like that. So you're never sure where you're being kind of taken, but yeah.
Sales never take them seriously.
Yes.
They always ask for they're not buying.
That's personally happened to me before, yes.
So I go with my husband and it's totally assume he's buying. It's like,
That's what happened to me as well, right? Yeah, so we're kind of trying to streamline the car buying process for women. So where was the last place you went when you wanted to buy a car?
It was my dad's friend.
Okay, gotcha.
Craigslist, yeah.
Gotcha, okay. So were there any like bumps in the road that you'd like to streamline next time you go to buy a vehicle?
Maybe just having more like clarity on things we maybe don't understand as much. So yeah, before and things like to avoid and stuff like that.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah. So someone who kind of tells you like these are the steps for buying a vehicle in the smartest way, that kind of thing. Yeah, totally. Do you guys ever worry about like your privacy, like giving a dealership your phone number, getting blown up with emails?
For sure.
Okay. So we are from HeyAuto, which is a Calgary-based tech startup. So do you currently own a vehicle?
I do, yes.
Okay, great. And where did you buy it from?
Out of town.
Okay, gotcha. And when you went to buy the vehicle, where was kind of like the first place you started?
Everywhere, I guess, like Facebook, Auto Trader, kind of thing, dealerships.
Okay,
wherever.
cool. So you bought your car off Facebook Marketplace then?
No, this is from a dealership.
Okay, gotcha. So do you have any pain points when you were kind of working with the dealership? Anything that you wish went like a little smoother?
Yeah, they didn't like detail it before.
Okay,
so,
gotcha.
Yeah.
So we're from HeyAuto, which is a local Calgary tech startup. You currently own a vehicle, yes?
Yeah, I own a Chevy Equinox.
Okay, great. So where did you buy it when you bought it?
Bought it from a dealership in town.
Okay, great. So when you were looking to buy the vehicle, how did you kind of get hooked up with that dealership?
I worked at the dealership at the time. It is not the easiest process to get hooked up and get set up to find one.
So coming out of the industry, what do you think the biggest pain point for consumers is when buying a vehicle from the dealership?
I find a lot of it is the whole process of going down to the dealership, having to go through the meetings, the financing and everything. A lot of times I think people just want to do that at home, find their vehicle, do their searching, price things out, get things set up, and when they're ready to go forward, they're ready to go forward. None of this pressure and sales tactics and, oh, you got to take this now or else it's going to be gone.
Yeah, totally.
There's always another sale.
Right. Through our platform, we have an option where consumers can kind of look through a list of salesmen, read the reviews about them, pick out their salesman before they show up. Do you think that's going to be useful for consumers?
I think that's going to be hugely useful. So many industries, a lot of it comes down to relationships. So you want someone you feel comfortable with. Especially, I mean, besides house, car is usually the next biggest purchase. So you want someone you can trust with that money, with that financing. So definitely, I think that would help.
When you worked at the dealership, you made a sale. How hard did you find it to keep in contact with your leads once you sold them the vehicle?
It can be hit or miss from talking to the salesman. I know they do have a lot of trouble getting in touch with customers, but it goes both ways because a lot of times you get just plastered with emails and phone calls and everything, and at a certain point, like, you just don't want to deal with it anymore. They're sending you too much spam. Like, let me think, let me figure it out. I'll call you when I'm ready at this point. So
your next step in getting these spam emails is unsubscribe, right?
Yeah, but even when you do that, sometimes they still keep showing up, and it's never ending. It's almost harder to get out of that database than it is to get into it.
So one more feature I'll tell you about that I think that you might find useful is we're offering a glove box feature, which keeps all of your car documents digitally. So insurance, registration, your license, and the notifications will pop up and let you know, hey, like, you've got 2 weeks until this expires. And then even your receipts, it will bank all of those if you're like banking kilometers for work and stuff like that. Do you think that'll be useful?
That's brilliant. I know my mom got dinged for the expired registration a couple years ago because they don't notify you. It's up to you
They
to.
send a letter.
Yeah, it's up to you to know. That was the same thing she said, and the cop was like, "No, it's expired. Sorry." But yeah, no, I think that's brilliant. If anything, because people take it out of the vehicles too. You don't want to get pulled over and, oh, it's at home, or oh, my expired one's in here. So brilliant idea.
So if you were going to go buy a vehicle, where's the first place you'd go?
To a dealership or like Facebook Marketplace for like used cars, right?
Right. So is there anything that you'd be kind of hesitant or nervous about going onto Facebook Marketplace to find a vehicle?
Yeah, getting like shafted with the cars, like not the way they portrayed it to be and stuff like that. Yeah.
So like getting scammed, that kind of thing. Totally. Do you ever worry about like your privacy, like giving out your phone number, that kind of thing?
Oh yeah, even that too. That's
Okay. Do you guys all own a vehicle?
Yes, sweetie. Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yes, but I'm moving cities, so
Okay. So you're gonna sell your vehicle?
no.
No. You're gonna take it with you?
Yeah, at some point.
Okay, gotcha. So when you guys bought your vehicles, what was the process you took to kind of finding where you were gonna purchase it from?
Mine was online ads, right?
Okay.
Private sales.
Gotcha. So was it like Auto Trader, Kijiji, or?
All of the above, yeah.
Okay, gotcha. And were there any pain points that kind of that made you wish the process was a little smoother?
Yeah, I guess just finding something that was well maintained, right? And then kind of knowing what maintenance, history, all that jazz, so we wouldn't get, deeper in the hole, right? When you buy it, yeah.
You own a vehicle, yes? Okay, great. So when you bought your vehicle, what was the first step you took to kind of finding where you were going to purchase it from?
Oh, well, actually, so it was a grad gift from my dad.
Okay, got
But we were going, because I just wanted a second-hand vehicle since it was my first car.
Right.
So we just went through dealerships, we went through Kijiji, we went through Marketplace, we went through like our own personal connections.
Gotcha. And what did you find worked out the best for you?
Actually, a lot of research, just because from what I've noticed, like purchasing a second-hand vehicle, there was a lot of like scams going on, especially during COVID, which kind of sucked.
Right.
But doing a lot of research and as well as meeting with people face to face to see the vehicle and actually test driving it. So I'd highly recommend that. And I found actually going through dealerships was probably like
a safer bet.
Yeah, safer option.
So did you guys end up going through a dealership?
We went through a dealership, yeah. But we went through a dealership.
And were there any kind of bumps in the road with the dealership that you wish were a little more streamlined?
I'd say probably just kind of more trust, if that's okay to say.
Yeah, totally, of course. Our platform, we have a feature where you can kind of search through inventory, pick out what vehicle and what dealership you'd like to work with, and then from there you can pick out a salesperson as well. You can read through reviews and kind of like their mantra as a salesperson and then pick exactly who you want to work with. Do you think that would offer you a little more?
Absolutely, yeah.
You bought the car through the dealership. Do you tend to get like lots of communications from the dealership through like email and phone and that kind of thing?
Yeah,
And does that bother you?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So what would your next step be? Would you unsubscribe from the email?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, cool. So my name's Amy. We work for HeyAuto, which is a local Calgary tech startup.
Okay.
So we're kind of looking to revolutionize the car buying and selling process through like our digital platform. So you currently own a vehicle?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And where did you buy that vehicle?
I bought it in Quebec from a private seller on
Okay.
Facebook Marketplace. Yeah.
Okay, great. And how was your experience with kind of like that marketplace stuff?
Yeah, to be honest, the day I bought my car, that was probably like the worst day in my life because I bought it with my grandfather, and we had no experience buying a car, and the guy that drove us there in the middle of nowhere, he just ditched us, and I kind of had to buy the car on the spot without
it's like-
even having a test drive or anything like that.
Yeah. So overall, it was an uncomfortable experience.
Big time, yeah.
Gotcha.
Oh,
That sucks. You know, marketplace can always be kind of a gamble, right?
big time.
Totally.
Yeah.
Do you guys own a vehicle?
Sure. Yes.
Great. And when you bought the vehicle, where did you buy from?
I got it from my grandmother-in-law.
Okay, gotcha. And you?
I'm trying to think. I've had mine for quite a while. You got yours secondhand from Kijiji because Dad got it for you.
Online.
Right. Okay. So how was your experience with kind of like that marketplace environment?
Good, because most of the men in our family are truck drivers.
Gotcha. So you've got like the experience.
So we got somebody to ask the questions too, saying, "Hey, what can we do? What do we need?
Totally.
What are we looking for?
What are the questions we need to ask before we hand over any money?
Yeah, you got to know your mileage. is there any damage to the vehicle?
Carfax.
Get your Carfax before. See how it ran before, or who ran it before.
With that, my mother's 82. She had a car accident, had to get another vehicle. Being on her own for the first time, buying a vehicle, she went through a car dealer.
Okay.
And I'm worried she didn't do any of her work on So I imagine she paid more than she needed to for her vehicle.
And that's the other thing is, if you're going through a car dealer, you need somebody, I hate to say it, with you that knows. Like my grandfather was a car salesman, my brother was a car salesman.
You guys know how it goes.
So I know the ins and outs, and I'm going, no.
The charges that they shouldn't be charging you, like delivery charge and all
or
these other
like the surplus charge and this, that, the other thing.
I know my mom paid that.
Yeah,
totally.
Have you guys ever sold a vehicle on a marketplace before?
I guess not if you guys.
I haven't. My husband has, and he tries to be as honest and truthful about it as he possibly can, because he doesn't want to have, let's say, some 70-year-old lady buy his vehicle and breaks down a week from now.
Right.
But you also don't want like hundreds of people in and out of your house test driving your vehicle. It's kind of an uncomfortable experience, right?
Well, you don't know.
Or if they're coming back with your vehicle.
Exactly.
Or taking your vehicle without even.
You never see him again.
Yep, it's like, bye.
Yeah, totally.
All right, thanks everybody who did a little interview with us. That was so much fun. You gotta come find us on Stephen Ave on Fridays. Message our account, see when we're gonna be out next, and you can get a Starbucks gift card. Thanks, guys.